Hello again, and thank you for joining me in part 4 of the making of The Way I Feel. In part 1, I laid down the tracks and I started with a little guitar track just to help guide me through the rest of the process. Then in part 2, I laid down the drums, initial drums, and the bass guitar. In part 3, added some guitars. Now, it may seem that that's all there is to it. Just play a little bit and it'll be fine. There's a lot more to it than just recording the parts. After the part is recorded, I listen to each part individually to see if there's anything wrong, if there's out of tune, if there's cracks, if there's words that I missed, whatever. And so I found out that there's always a little thing going wrong here or there. I found out that I needed to re-record a bit of vocals because I was singing out of tune. I mean, that happens. Where I'm out of tune with vocals, I would rather just re-record them a few times to get them right. I do not personally like auto-tune. I know almost everybody does it, and it's just not what I like. It's just a preference of me. I also found out that I needed to re-record a bit of guitar because there were some plops and cracks in it, some external noises that came into that guitar part. So I needed to re-record one of the guitar parts. So I also found out that there is a lot of noise on the third guitar part. This was the heavily overdriven guitar that's playing in the background. Now, it makes sense that an overdriven guitar has a lot of noise. So a lot of people use a noise cancellation in front of the amplifier, and although I get that, a noise canceller in front of the amp looks at the level of input coming in. So if you play a very low part, or if you try to play sustain on a guitar, you may lose that. So I do not like that for recording. When I record, I use a tool, a plugin that analyzes the sound and then only takes away the frequencies that are the noise. And you can see here how that works. After I listen to each part individually, I also listen to the vocal parts together and also to the guitar parts together and make sure that they're in the same rhythm and they're not out of time with each other. Clearly they also need to be in tune with each other, but they also cannot be out of time. So I found that in one of the choruses there was a little bit of a timing error, so it was almost like I was stuttering. So I needed to re-record that vocal part as well. 'Cause I really need you. I can't find my way without you. Although I write down all the settings, like which guitar I use, which amp channel, there's more to just the amp channel than which channel I use. Yeah, each channel has its own volume settings, its own gain settings, tone settings. So I take a picture of the amp to make sure that if I need to re-record something later, I can get all the settings exactly as they were in the first place. Now, the vocals. I started with recording the lead vocal because that's going to be the melody of the song. After the lead vocals, I record the backing vocals. Once to the left with the room mic to the right, and once to the right with the room mic to the left. It gives just a little bit more of a spatial issue, and I found that even though those two sound extremely close to each other, you can tell that there's more happening than just the one vocal. After that, I record another backing vocal, and this one is more like a harmony. Not every song requires a harmony anywhere, and this song doesn't require harmony in each chorus, but I like to have it in a few places just to get a little build up in the song. So now let's listen to those individually. I'm going to start with the left vocal, then we'll add the right vocal, then we'll add the backing vocals, and then we'll see how they are in the mix. But I really need you, I can't find my way without you. And when I touch you, I know it's real. Yes, I really need you, I can't find my way without you. And when I touch you, I know it's real. It's love I feel. Keep in mind that the mix is not the final mix. This is just initial, this is how the tracks are done, this is how they sound together. In a future episode, we're going to start really mixing and getting all the levels right so it sounds better as a whole. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll be back next week with part 5, where I'm going to add a little bit more guitars, and we're going to make the song a little bit fuller and start with the mixing process. Thank you, and I hope to see you again. Don't forget to like it. Thank you.